What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about 𝗪𝗓. I want to go over the latest updates, data points, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, it is up 6.57%. 85 cents the low, 89 cents the high, so it is kind of trading within a set range. That'll make a little bit more sense once I go over the technicals, but we are seeing very low volume, 37.3 million shares being traded, and most likely we will be continuing to see lower volume, not just with 𝗪𝗓 but the broader market, because of this right here. So we did have the interest rate decision coming from Japan, and they did raise it 25 basis points. So this is going to be causing more of a liquidity pinch on the broader market. It won't be instantaneous, but over the next little bit we will start to see a rotation out of bonds, American bonds, and then later through equity. So don't be surprised if we do see kind of lower and lower volume, but the market is very hyped up right now because of this. So existing home sales came in at 4.1 million, forecast of 3.9. Then Michigan consumer sentiment came in at 52.9 versus 53.3. So overall, pretty good stuff. Specific to 𝗪𝗓 though, there really hasn't been that much news. Last news did come out on December the 15th. So again, nothing really crazy. As far as SEC forums, there was this one right here. So the prospectus that was submitted yesterday around noon, and that's just right here, the perpetual preferred. So I don't really see that being that crazy in my opinion, but there was this forum 4 that came out Tuesday, December the 16th. And this right here shows a CEO did buy some stock using their own money. That's, again, the first time that this has ever truly happened for the common stock. So transaction code P, again using their own money, was all done on December the 15th. This is the actual shares at the price. So pretty good stuff. And normally, like in other cases, when CEOs or other executives buy, they get it at a pretty good price, right? They get a discount and all the other BS. This was done on the market, so pretty good. I like this. Some people I see online are just saying that this is more just for show, just to kind of artificially boost the stock price. That could be the case, but nonetheless, I think in general, it all comes down to trust, whether you do actually believe this is good or not. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below, just so you guys can kind of see it. This is, again, the first transaction code P. Normally it is transaction code A, meaning that they were just given or awarded the stock. So they didn't actually use their own money. The other transaction code P did occur by Vivek, and it was just the variable rate Series A stock. So it wasn't the common stock. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. But this is kind of the other ones. So a lot of transaction code A's, conversions, and that's pretty much it. So this was the very first transaction code P, and again, based on the price of it, it's a fairly good, like it's a good sentiment booster in my opinion. But again, what do I know in life? Looking at this, so shorts at the time of doing this video, they are increasing 921,000 shares. So they are trying their very best to suppress it at all costs. 31.82% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 132.04 million shares overall being shorted. So absolutely crazy stuff. And right now with it at 31%, like it's kind of close. So the all-time high short interest was done on November the 20th, and that was at 35.9%. So given everything that's happening, maybe next week we might be seeing all-time high short interest numbers. So let me know your viewpoint, and if you feel that 𝗪𝗓 is a squeeze play. Everything right here, the yellow, is also failure to deliver. So there really hasn't been that much recent activity. Last being, it looks like November the 24th, and that was 0.01. And then the previous day, November the 21st, there was about 2.3 million. So you can kind of all see that right here. Aside from that, looking at the options, 1.3 million in calls, 78,000 in puts, 88% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. And even if looks like some institution is just doing about 250,000 every 5 minutes or so. So 250,000 there, 250,000 there. So if we kind of pop that open, orient it based on premium, it looks like it is just very, very bullish. $2 calls, January 15th, 2027. And they are paying roughly a 25-cent premium. So they need it to be at least $2.25 in the foreseeable future. So definitely good to see. and this again is a repetitive order, so big money is again feeling that things are only going to go up from here. We aren't really seeing that much in actual institutional transactions today, only one on the secondary market, and it is a sell. On the dark pool, these are some of the transactions. Given how active shorts are, it is fair to assume that most of this is actually linked to them, because this 921,000, that's just net at the end of the day. So yeah, they are being very, very active. At the peak, surprisingly enough, they are increasing about 14.9 million shares. So again, going over here, given that there's about 37 million shares being traded, they are making up for a pretty damn good chunk of the daily volume. Right now with it at 88 cents, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 85 cents is that kind of good support, and it bounced off of that general area. 92 cents is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart, still not looking all too great. It is below that 10-day moving average, and generally that is a very, very big deal for a lot of momentum plays. So it needs to ideally get above that by the next 20-30 minutes of the trading day, if not early next week. Because next week we have kind of a gap in the middle because of Christmas, and the 24th, I believe the market does also close at 1 o'clock, so it was a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, on the actual chart, not too great, bouncing off of 78 cents for the low. And again, on the 15th, that's actually when the CEO did buy, so they timed it pretty damn well if you think about it. But nonetheless, stochastic RSI is 45, so it's somewhat neutral in nature. No real analyst ratings, no articles really coming out. Looking at the market position, you see some willing buyers, a little bit more, so that's a positive thing. But still, I think the broader market needs to really push higher, and institutions need to start getting in a little bit more. So let me know your viewpoint on this stock. Are you buying? Are you selling? Of course, I'm not here to get you to buy or sell. As what I've mentioned in previous videos, all I'm doing is analyzing the data. And kind of interestingly enough, my last couple of videos, I did say that most likely it was going to push to that 80-cent mark. So anticipating like a 20-ish% push lower, and lo and behold, that is exactly what did happen. So this is why follow the data, don't get so emotionally attached. But if you are looking for a lot of good on-point buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, even this stock, I did signal it as a buy at 80 cents, more of a day trade. And that's, again, exactly how it did play out. If you're looking for a lot of that, pop over to my stacked account. I actually just made this a couple weeks back, and I lowered the price just for this weekend for all my buy alerts. And there's about 99 members right now, but lowered it from 55 down to 20. So if you get in, you will never be increased. Lock it in, and I'm only going to allow probably about another 20 members. So definitely join in. It's only going to be over this weekend. Link to that is in the description below, and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.